Trish, continue.
Ani bonjour, everyone. Welcome to the Bagida'waad Alliance's language class again. We're honored to have Ron and Janet and Lori and Marie. Oh, just a second, we're getting doubles. It's the problem of doing the introduction and the TAC at the same time. Bagida'waad for your patience, everyone. We're happy to be here tonight. It's good to see so many familiar faces, and hopefully we get to have a nice time talking about Bagida'waad fish. And I hope that I don't get grilled on it too much, because Natasha already does that to me quite often, and I'm not very good at being able to know the different types of fish. So I'll hand it over to you, Ron. Bagida'waad, everyone.
Annie, bonjour. We gekeken pinnie chipako met pimava Janet. The we get morgen nee we gekeken. Oh.
Oh, we launched up.
Okay. Anishinaabemowin, sucker moon, otherwise known also as Bagida'waad, bear moon. It's February. Daswa Shananan, the 15th. Nijing Madasvuk, Nishtana Shanish, 2022. Saboganek, 8 o'clock in Saboganek. 8 o'clock. Okay, you can correct me.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. Neen being again. Welcome to our home. And tonight we will be talking about Gigo. And we'll get started with a smudge. Namavat.
Good to be here.
Everybody, introduction, they can introduce themselves.
She's
Fish in that white.
or it can the modern week. It's not causing Muscat magazine, there's not cause Macondorum, the Stargish, Marie, the Kinayagic, Natasha, Kinagoran doesn't tell you, maybe you can say that in English.
For everybody that's on tonight, we are inviting you to introduce yourselves and let us know where you're from.
Bill Moses and Anishinaabemowin, Won't Sound, and Dune Duba.
Bonjour, Bill.
Oh, Nintamna. Marie Mason is na kasagi mampindenjba.
Annie Marie.
Bonjour, Elizabeth. The noise one hour. Will quadong. Lisa Pont Mumpy the Bendogzian. Baga qua on engine congo.
Oh, wow. Hey, Barakwa.
Yeah, Baga qua.
Mini Minio.
Oh, was much Tayang Ma?
Audrey has her hand up.
Bonjour.
We can hear you.
Okay. Bonjour, many do Beneshi Quandish Nakas, my Ingando Dam, Sagi Nang in Don Chaba, in Gitchin and Dam, be with you.
Bonjour, Audrey.
For a question later, I want to know how to say wells in Anishinaabe. Hey, Marie.
Well, that goes way back.
We got
We bet.
Okay.
Good morning. With the Bajmat Tadman. So I'm just going to do an introduction here. Most recently, and up to now, we have been looking at the kinds of animals, birds that live in our area. Last week, we talked about some of the constellations that are visible in the night sky during the 4 seasons, especially winter, which is the current season. This week, we will be finding out some of the Ojibwe names for fish, gigon. There is an order in creation of how life on earth came to be. We note that man was the last to be created, so that will be the topic for later. Those who may want to speak and add to the conversation we are having are welcome to do so at any time. I did not translate that into Anishinaabemowin. So in speaking about the Gigon, object Jamandanamen, Bagida'waad Bishing Bagida'waad. There's the fish are teachers, and they are also are totems as well. So when we look at them in the form of creation that we all are, and we can understand how they relate to us and what it is that they teach us. So we have a list that we have that Ron and Jan have developed. And those are the fish that we're going to primarily speak about tonight.
Pangigina tamapen ngi sam zunigin ni abigwek is the cause Mompio magus no mabot trout is the cause no can I you wow we pronounce get a carp
Ginigi.
Bobbin Cheo one Nishin Bishing. We are getting among you on the Moxwat Mabiki work. Nay, Bobbin taught Mandam Bish, or near Chishinanguk, or Jimnacoin Uniking. Me, oh, where with the marking you here fishing and look money gun the king. I'm gonna now Nico's mom before the storytelling one the week about the month whitefish tickmic whitefish scale na sturgeon nami is it nami the cousin we gonna mabin probably to get the gale bishing what the toy unit Copy of McMahon. We thought of shit. Mabagimo bass is not can I get niche. Large mouth, small mouth. Chicken. Is the Kazakazado. Mabago peckerel now, ga. Mabago walleye now, Mabagina pike. Noge. Oh, Manzamaga, Mungun and Manduit one.
Oh, as long as what?
Mandago.
Vanna White Guinea meow.
Now we're going to start back up to number 1 again, eh? Trout.
Oh.
Rainbow. Yeah,
Oh,
true,
stop
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah, I do.
You're fired. No.
You're fired. It's a trout also.
Okay, he's the one on the list, Mama,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Wabmana.
Up to what sabi sa mga piyak no piyak binigong mga no pagpito ko siya. Kasi na po ko sa ka. Ay gusto. Mas may gusto mo pa sa katagal. Oh yeah.
Oh, uh-huh.
There's always a rainbow trout in the car. Mas may gusto there's no kanal pinong saging mga.
Macam po sa Mama.
Yeah, from the president to pick non then we ask. Orange gangi go. Marvelous. That's
Brown trout.
brown fruit there.
Oh,
Kijk man, je ziet in Montpellier, maar bij is niet kaas. De nozen ik gegeven ja. Montpellier niet. Als je in gebied gaat, maar wat meer zo. Nee. Ik dacht ken aan de King Mountains, maar me wat bij het maar bij gewoon. Carp. We zijn op Bamisch toen hij man. We zijn maar bij jou. Oh, nu maar wat carp is niet kaas. Nou, whitefish. Ik moet kennen.
yeah.
Dick man.
Dick man.
Oh, sturgeon, yeah, maar
Okay. Oh,
ja, ik maar ik schap je ook met piggen, maar de kast maar naar mij, sturgeon. Maar
Marie will have a story about this.
maar
Yeah.
Marie.
Bakwej, Mama.
Marie.
What?
Okay, oh no, what about what maar sturgeon?
Maybe got away, but I haven't got them much more. My peanut. Right now?
Yeah.
Oh, right now. Aha. Maybe Kiesi Kumaki Bishama. Skongo. Mishmava Kaketat. Godingoda Nisakin Gisha. New Gisek. Me. You know, one knock the get with the sea being shot. Mishke Gishat ma Nising. In the water to swim. Mishke Goma on his legs, he felt something on his legs. Almost knocked him over because he hadn't been gone too far out out offshore, and it kind of knocked him over, and he managed to get up, and he noticed that it was a big fish. He didn't realize how big the fish was till later on when the fish circled around him, but he said it was huge. He said it almost took him down like in the water. I don't know what his intention. He didn't know what his intentions were anyway.
Okay, they can see you.
Oh, okay, they can see me. Me just almost knocking him down, and then he managed to stand up, and the fish was still swirling around him. It was a huge fish, and he said he grabbed a hold of its tail, and it took him down almost to the mouth of the river, almost to Southampton or Shakadek. No, what they know. He let go of it. He let go of that tail. Midishmanda ekatat kiwa mangya hoya Anishman Kashwe bak nin kashwe psiat tanan gya mishravak medicine man ekatat. Oh, you're gonna live a long life, kata. Because the fish that sturgeon favored you, and he had a connection to you, and he'll live a long time. And he did. He truly did live a long life. His name was Shabadis. His last name was, I can't even remember his, Walter Shabadis. Anishinaabemowin. Yeah, he lived a long life. Lived a long, long time, over 100 years old. And this experience, his experience, myself, my own story is when the one-lane bridge was there. It's not the bridge that's there now. There was a one-lane bridge there before it. Anyway, 3 of us were going to the show. We had a matinee. And we walked there. We used to walk to go to the show. Anyway, I don't know what the girls were saying, but they went ahead of me, and I thought they were kind of upset with me about something. I didn't know what it was, and I tried to, catch up to them because I was small. I couldn't catch up to them because they were running, and they managed to run up. They managed to get past the bridge and up that little incline up the hill. Anyway, I stopped by the bridge there to catch my breath, and I noticed a big fish below me, below on the bridge by the bank, and it was stuck there, and I was trying to get out. A huge, huge fish. And I thought, oh my goodness, that fish is so huge. It looks so big. It looks like one of those ocean, like one of those ocean fish. That's how huge it was. So I tried to call the girls back to look at this fish, but they wouldn't come back. They just kept running. And I looked at that fish, and his head kind of looked up at me, and our eyes connected. And I could feel, what I could feel from that fish was love. There was something else, peace. There's all that in that, what that fish was from his eyes. And I looked at him and I thought, oh my goodness, he's trying to communicate with, well, I didn't think of those words then because I was little. I thought this fish is trying to talk to me. And I looked down at him and I seen that he was stuck on that bank and he was trying to get out. And I thought, oh my goodness, I hope nobody comes along and tries to hurt him. But he had I don't know, he struggled some more. Then he did get out. He did get out from that bank where he was stuck on. And the way he looked up at me, and the way he went way out into the lake. But I often wondered about that long life, what Walter Shabadis had said, what was told to him. And that's my story. But there's other stories too about Mebina. I remember my family, they were all fisher people. They fished all the time. My dad fished all the time. So we had fish for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But my mom, she found so much creative ways to cook the fish. Like she had smoked fish, baked, fried, boiled, and, all these things. And she even knew how to make a meatloaf, like a fish loaf, It was so good. Anyway, that's how we were able to, survive in those days, because we didn't really actually go to the store very much. We lived off the land. We picked berries. I remember I was a little girl, we had to pick berries and dry apples for winter, for apples for applesauce or pies. And we did all those things. We ate from the land. And if we didn't get anything from the land, we used to trade with the local farmers for milk, because we didn't have any cows. We didn't have cows, and we didn't have chickens either. Not till later on we got chickens. We got eggs. But that's, about the fish. Mebanak. That was like a festival with the village people. Anyway, they used to go down the hill, the boys, and spear fish. and they'd be all night, going fishing. All night they'd be out fishing for Mabinock. And in the morning we'd hear the fish on the table because they just throw them on the table, and they'd be flipping and flapping. That was our livelihood of the fish. Even they're suckers at Mabinock. There's a lot of bones in them. So, but we managed that. The little kids knew how to, pick the bones off. I don't know how we did it. We never choked on it or anything, but there was a lot of bone in that fish. Yeah. But my dad used to say, we used to fish out in the lake for whitefish. And then we had to have the government and our Ministry of Natural Resources brought in that you had to have a license to fish. Well, I guess that was for commercial fishing, I guess, but they wouldn't let us take any whitefish out there. So that's what we were left with Mabinock. But they were good. We still fish and we ate them. I got a lot of stories about fish. There's lots of them, but we used to use them for fertilizer too, in the gardens. I'm rambling again.
Your dad was Jim Mason. Your dad, Jim Mason.
Yeah, he was
a fisherman.
Yeah, he fished all his life. Yeah. Commercial fish out here. Yeah, he used to take the boat out, but we didn't have a boat that was owned by somebody in Southampton, but he used to work for them, and that's what he used to do. And he introduced Punch too. Punch went fishing. There's a lot of boys that went out and yeah.
Squint.
Squint is in the casa.
Willard.
Willard, yeah. But the younger boys, that's what they used to do. They used to go down the river here, and they get the Mabinock, and we'd, that's what we had. That's what we had for lunch or for our meals.
No, bass.
Yeah.
Bass. Small mouth and large mouth. By out
Let's see.
never was here go. Can I start the book was okay. The crow, yeah. Go, is it?
Oh, yep.
Oh.
Kent. Well, what is he?
It's not showing it.
Yeah.
The one.
Victoria, is there a way to get the pictures on?
Okay, go get and then say something and then we'll show.
Cool.
Sorry, what pictures?
Yeah, I've got pictures of fish. The fish, but other than
There you go.
Okay, here I am.
Yeah, I think you have to move enough and make some noise so that it looks at you.
That me?
Yeah.
That's God.
Hoot like an owl, and then it will look at you.
Well, we're not old, is it?
Walleye.
Walleye, was not causing over. Go pike, or something. Oh, I think. Is it convenient? Coursing, yeah?
Oh,
Go coursing,
no,
we'll get you to say smelt next one.
Ooh. Okay.
Actually,
Oh, huge mog, yes. Mog, yes. No, was okay, mom.
used to use them near fertilizer around the apple trees, mama. Key went. Even the now, that now, we not picture go near me up to take okay and nish mom and non keep going. She not sure it's a magic what be.
Those are smelts.
Smell.
Those are good, hard to know, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember cleaning those.
You call that the old washing machine one that's got the rollers on it. Is it called?
Oh, the rear?
Put them right through.
Ah.
Yeah. Squeeze the guts right out of them.
Mon industrial,
Maja, noja.
Manger, mama. Musky. Musky.
They must be big. Are they big?
That's kind of
I don't know what. Over 3 feet. Mama. Never goes up to get up, never goes in, mama even.
I've never, I don't know if I've ever seen that one.
Oh, yeah.
Is he being the mobile? No. Is he big or
Crappy.
crapple? Crapple?
Dus is
Gudashi. Gudashi.
good on she.
Gudashi. Gudashi. Crapple. Crapple or crapple? Crapple.
Crapple.
Crappy, isn't it?
Crappy. Oh, I thought that was an L. Crappy. Gudashi. Okay.
No, we get catfish. What? What she is it?
Washi. Wasi. Wasi.
We like nobody. Bobby chiquito didn't king. Put in any misto.
Don't, yeah. There's his mishponan. Yeah. There's a catfish.
Hmm.
You think it would say gaja? No. Gaja gigo. No.
And mobile herring.
Herring.
Kiwis.
Kiwis. Oh. Kiwis. Herring. I've never had a herring, I don't think.
Yeah,
Okay.
oh, come on.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh.
what goes up here?
Is it? Oh, okay.
There's never goes up when the
Oh.
smoked fish, yeah. When they smoke.
Oh, right, smoked herring. Okay.
From Nasco, cause against it.
Namagas.
Perch.
Gnajwe maba. Eh? Gnajwe.
Shawa, is it?
Sawe.
Shawa.
Sawe. Perch. Sawe. Sawe. Yeah. Ooh.
Majos. Oh, well, the first ones we showed. Rainbow trout. Maba.
Back here again?
No, Majos. Maba trout meal. Maybe at no needing. Rainbow trout video at no Majmax. We go in Nashville get. Maba come be to get. You just want to not be a lot too.
Okay.
Yeah,
So rainbow comes in first in the spring, is it?
Mm.
And then maba. Magos, the trout comes in next.
What's up against it? Never goes again.
Yeah. Wasapgiza, that's shiny, eh? Wasapgiza.
Oh, we're scared, you know. Oh. Mazi. Magos.
There's his.
No.
But then he's got sharp teeth.
You got the near. The question out will be after the trout get moment. Me go near the more short one. CBC. We all what after they lay eggs. Moment keep going. They first came around again back about 20-30 years ago. Before that, we didn't have them. But somebody introduced them into here. It's like that brown trout that was introduced. That's a European fish scale. It's a mountain fish. You know, Mama Kingwick. No, about Victoria and give me now a picture of that one fish sheep head in the closet. I forget that the Anishinaabemowin name is in the closet. We've done she got the yam and he's not his
Oh, disappeared. There he is.
Oh, she is not cause
Janan, mo.
That's a real fish.
That is a real fish. Yeah, you go. Maar give do it again. Morgen get man short sentences. Kick it. Oh,
So we'll speak it. Again, come.
we should buy a Where are you going?
Sie being Nabaija. I'm going to the river.
Anish, why?
Nigigo, okay. I'm going fishing.
Can we do and okay? Can I go with you fishing?
Ambeshka. Yes, let's go.
Yeah. Then give it Tom
Well, we would probably talk faster if we were out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes so good, eh? Oh.
Natasha.
Oh, Natasha. Who was in with the bottom of Marvin now? Ticknack, whitefish.
What's that? Sorry.
Can you talk about the whitefish?
Can you talk about the whitefish?
Sure. Sure. What can I tell you about the whitefish? Other than the beautiful fish, they're nice and shiny, they're easy to scale. The whitefish roe can be used to make caviar.
Somebody else likes them.
Smoking them is like the best thing ever, like with maple syrup and honey garlic and, you know, Cajun smoked whitefish is delicious. We used to make a whitefish chowder with it, which was lovely too. What else can I tell you about whitefish? Other than on the opposite scale of things, they're on the decline, which is really upsetting. They're a bit more than just a decline on the Georgian Bay side. My husband and I, when we started fishing, we used to have this really strange dream that we could actually raise the family, and our family could raise their families on the whitefish. And we had to stop fishing, coming up on 4 years now. And because we saw a very quick decline of the whitefish. And we left fishing, coming up on 4 years now. We were down to catching 1 or 2 fish, whitefish, compared to the 40 fish that we were catching when we were fishing was better once upon a time. So hopefully we can bring more attention to the whitefish and help them in some way, because they don't spawn like other whitefish or other fish. They don't go up the creeks and the rivers and the streams. They spawn on shoals, which is around the fishing islands on the Huron side and on some of the shoals on this side. And we need to protect the spawning beds so that they can actually have future generations, and also take a look at climate change and how it's affecting them and other fish, because it's also affecting other fish in the areas like suckers. Perch is another one that we haven't seen a lot of. We're seeing a more increase of pickerel, which is odd for us on the side. So anyway, yeah, so just briefly about whitefish. They are good eating. They are beautiful. Like Huron whitefish are different than Georgian Bay whitefish. And we can tell when we have not a local fish on our side. And yeah, well, thank you. And I'll turn it back to you guys. I'm a gret.
Kime gwe chio, man de najum in pi. Won ki goyak. Not kana go is go bak mo pi king. Wanda ni nuclear plant. Gedenk go kon bish. Mit de sjön majawat ma bi ki goyak. Not kana go nen mo. Man pi is it time to lay eggs nen mo ki we should is wat net king. Me en jin kon agus wat pi on king. Or the king is what. Patino che ora na magazines. Sono patino corrigo. Suo wisno na chego. Not knago. Ni ge kuma look na sturgeons. He got too young. Doron not dead. Chomps chigaming ping imagine go. Kina sang imagine gazo question shiogon mikka. Me out Beshimon knee close to shore. Spawning, no sturgeons. We're gonna not be to go to the Sauging River Seabing.
When?
If you know what, king Sable River, they go to. You know, Seabing, my pet taken, we go, he went here out. Okay, what's the
Yeah. Wish Newman P. Gabin dying ma. When I give go Cameron. No Jaban. Me sustenance as in Kadak. Give work, give me Jmin Pana. Wish Gamin going yo. That the food from the river. That's why our people stayed in this area, because of the abundance of the fish and the natural foods, the deer, and those other things that our people relied on for food. Mishnonga kai nibnama yasiwak diabe akzawak divoyak. For the fish are getting sick with the poisoning of the environment. As Natasha said, with the whitefish are disappearing. There's not as many out there. So when we talk about that relationship, the creation and how we all need to live in balance, well, it's definitely out of balance. When we see that we're not able to have those things that our ancestors were able to have a long time ago, and even if we are able to have them, I've heard some of the elders say that they won't eat the fish that come out of the river anymore because of the pollution that's there. So, it's a thing that is very concerning, because we have the sicknesses now, Alkazawak Bemadzajik, Alkazawin Mayamgak, that we can't. It's hard to rely on the natural sources, because they eat from the land, they eat from the water. And if the land and the water are sick because of the poisons, then that's what they're ingesting. So when we're eating them, we're also ingesting that. So, Abdek, Wewen, and Gamadzaman, Jimnia, what Gewinwa. Midas ninwin gamnayamin minwa. But gishpin panamayam gukmanda akazawin ga akazamin geninwin.
Me Manda kiezers, Melvin kiezers, is een February. Maar we hebben met de Giaks ook niet naar weg. Op zich naar Gikonan ook, op zich naar Giaks ook, kindje nou wat je gaat. Wie dus maar van maak, Giko giet me uit. Kijk nu op maat. Als je nou eens wat ik maar met maat ik en dan. Me kwes mat na joan do. Gna de maak maar met niet naar weg. Akkestook. I'm going to sacrifice myself. He could gave himself so that Anishinaabe can live. When you wish not, Anishinaabe give me out of the me give up Martin, me get up not up to the Batino. Sige, Kyosha Martin, the mountain, I didn't know penny in that. If you always know when again making him near all king. Monsieur Mother, Miss Thomas, we are not Miss Mom Gigna, near door, near Mom. We got some on them February and mid February, any part of February. But that keep this one, Mabana, Mabin soup, Bob Kishator, of that game woman to honor, to respect. Humility with that normal gigon cost you get. When it's not wine of a month, chick monkey. When it's not mudzing. Me or the king, I'll go on Massim and Mabu, gigon cost you get. Mabu Mabin. Chicken on me, but give me go. Me sure of a by me, which I'm caught to the apple. Me go. Mabiguna and we give on Makwa. In the cutting good Monday, not pitching Monday in February. Needing like me, because we the Mago in the king, Mopio Mabin, the castle Mabu Jesus, because we the Mago on Panga. Chiba quet. The wrong geek it all the name. Why shall the king's beast? I sure you get up Moxian, Kiwan, who no, Mabinak, Kikina, Niap Kobinak. The same gosh again, me given as what. Bob Kishet taught me you always neon. Marie look at it up, but that form done and can some my take. Quench course from you, but passing you can't anyway. After not can I go, Mamma just stick a kick on it. Manding again is with the Magoyan. Montpio, he went by our period, not what she's going to be the king, 10 kitchen, pine up what is a son of Montpio, and dying, what. Michelle took no more to the now, basic pump visitor, kitchen by our spinning magazines, because Miguel, Nisting now, but can a bug and one thing there, and it's one pen of and it's a way book my pin king, me and out of the king here. Me, I'll be the notes can I go with the Margoing unit king of the cubs and down on the northern mount here. To go Corona and king notes not what the king can move with it. Go tax for us, yo, when the king is york, the king. Me and the king is not zing como de na rin, is not zing no que. Just among Monday going. Monday go porque ne beijinho go. Abject batin at na pitchen bish krok. Or the snaggy on the king. Pungushmok the king bajai no the California is not correct. No near. It's not testing yam da. Or the Bart tem gotor kirokyo. Non desse ook biskero. Kom na kwatke. Not can I give you a king. She on with you king. Nango gekana basic. Or no, Ginago Gixanang, but Nango. So we give him not when I go name. We not young. We want young. Wabung, we have a big shitang the woman. 5 degrees now, we kick it off. Mish me now. What's wrong with me now? Well, we next set young back down the low zeros. Up to the now, no figures around the king, thank God you're the king. Give me with the budget.
I'm just thinking about growing up. It used to be a real family thing. People go to Stony Creek, make their outings. It was just nice to be out on the land along the water. Yeah. My sister and her husband, they would come up, we'd all go fishing. When the smelts would come in,
Mhm.
people would go out at night, let's look forward to that.
Yeah, it was a community thing.
Yeah,
Kids would be playing and fishing. and-
yeah.
Doesn't happen anymore though. That doesn't happen
Oh.
because the smelts don't come in here.
No.
Ja, gin jimen dan god ne. Ki gat chian de. Kenna she ko gi ba ook. Uncles. Yankees you go. Up to go side by side was Stony Creek. Spears, Bobby Ott, no, gi go we be on. And si ma gi go with me up to go gi batti no ki go kezik. To go batti no we community involvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, to go in the shin.
I was just gonna share a little story. We were down at we were down at Stony Creek a number of years ago, and I was with Rennie and her kids were there, and Joyce were down there. So anyway, there was that Stony Creek at the mouth. That trout. Those kids went running out there. Well, they weren't kids, they were young, they were teenagers. They went running out there and they were standing on the rocks. We weren't going down there to fish. But those I still call them kids because they're still younger than I am. But they went out there, they positioned themselves on those rocks and swooped that fish out of the water. And then Joyce went running over there when it was on the shore and grabbed it and scooped it in further so it wouldn't go out. But I was standing there watching all this, and what I saw, when you talk about the clans, because Rennie and her kids are all Bear Clan. So they're the bears, all went out into the water. They hunted down the fish, swooped the fish out. Joyce's Eagle Clan. In went the eagle and swooped the fish further into the land so it wouldn't take off. I was witnessing the bears and the eagle working together.
Questa che che non mo was gi go ke op. Was gi se was gena. Pio zibi singoda ne yogi go ke. We get no moda ja de kino. Ka we get the nasiwa. Chgas kan ini wanda tumus peneng. Han gider na veskivo, acho mo veskibia. Aptagana gigana dro. Mishwetni. Rocket. Oh, kan benenget dat fiskkoden king. Monsieur Schwartz ki gon keanio. Ja, dit pogde mangoy. Monday gonna chbo with again by joke ma bu with again. Oh, you go keran gina. Dave, Rennie, Teresa, Midge, all them brothers and sisters, you bomb it, Domino, CB, Janet, Trigonomic, where's your fish pole, you know? They won't see you about that long, about 3 feet long. Mio, you know that, you know. Get to get on the audio, she's again. Well, we want me out to yes. Because she continue the Rennie and them, Dave, Leon, Dennis. Who's one bit to what to go? Walk with them the door. I'm not sure what mom give in. We should be keep me up. Or Janet will be up. Get there up, get there. Good enough.
He did not. They were showing me how to fish. That was just a little, small little creek, but there was good fish, eating fish in there, right?
Brooks.
Yep, you didn't need a fishing, a line and a hook or anything. A stick worked just as well, you can eat just as well. Well, I thought.
Brooks trout. We got near 4 colors gave on milk on and yellow, red, black, kind of white, kind of even on the fins. Now, the golden took me, imagine now. Janet's sister, Sandra, keeps swimming on over there, keep going, get my foot long, almost speckle, eh? Als je stigaan pik ik dat, als je zit even ook. Sandwiches from Gilwan, break off some of the question. Don't be shoot. 3 seconds you get even up, keep going. Was het toen een minuut?
Hey, I know it's getting on to 9, but there's one quick little story from
Yes.
Isaac Murdoch. He has a really good book out.
So just some quick promo. Oh, we can't read, it's backwards. The Trail of Nanabojo and Other Creation Stories by Isaac Murdoch. So this is the story of Nanabojo and the walleye. Okay, years ago, Nanabojo got involved with a tribal dispute over an adoption. It was not even any of his business, but he still took it upon himself to nosy his way into the dispute. 2 families were arguing. One was the elk family and one was the moose family. He took one family's side, even though he knew that it was never a good idea to take sides. The Moose clan were known as very skilled hunters and warriors. The Moose clan became offended by Nanabojo's decision to take the Elk clan family side in the dispute and set out to kill poor Nanabojo. This was not a good thing, and Nanabojo was chased out of the village by 20 amazing painted warriors in pursuit behind him. Nanabojo was able to get a small lead on the warriors of about 200 arm lengths when he got stopped dead in his tracks by a huge creek. He knew if he jumped in, he would be killed for sure, as the warriors were just behind him. In the creek, there just happened to be a fish floating where he was, and the fish was looking at Nanabojo. The fish said to him, "If I float in the middle, you can jump to me and step on my back and then take another jump to the other side." Oh, there's the Anishinaabemowin. Oh, I can't read that. Sorry, it's got Anishinaabemowin on the back pages. Nanabojo agreed and did so very quickly. Nanabojo then told the fish, "From this day on, you will carry beautiful yellow spots on your body for your kindness." He also sneakily added sharp spikes on its back so the Moose clan warriors could not do the same thing and follow him across the creek. Nanabojo laughed at the warriors and took off, singing his bragging song into the forest. The warriors never caught up to Nanabojo, but vowed to get him one day for his bragging, rude, and nosy behavior. Of course, they never caught him, and often his bragging song was heard echoing in the forest for years after. This is how walleye got its yellow spots and sharp spikes on its back. It's often thought that the Moose people are the Cree and the Elk people are the Ojibwe, and they were one at one time, one tribe. But after that dispute, the tribe split up, and the Moose people were said to have left heading northwest, while the Elk clan people started to go east. Mio.
Wet.
Yeah. Not really warm. Je barge mooi. Je be getting one thing. We na go we could away out.
Any sharing or any thoughts that you want to add? Questions?
Liz has her hand up.
Marie, Mason, Bagida'waad, Nginondan.
Wow, my daughter is here and she wants me to tell the story about what my dad used to tell me, what his relatives told him. He said that when they were the commercial fishing was in full scale on Georgian and Lake Huron. He said that the fishermen became very annoyed because the sturgeon was breaking the nets up because they were huge and they'd go through their nets and ruin them. So the commercial fishermen slew the sturgeon, and at night you could see the fires on the beach, and the people used to be very sad because they were killing them almost to extinction. But the sky in the beach on the beach, you could see it in the village here, the red, when they were burning those sturgeon in their bodies. Anyway, he said that his ancestors told him, he said, someday the sturgeon will come back. The sturgeon will be back, and I don't know when that will be, but because of the nuclear plant and on our ongoing of burying the waste here in our homeland. Anyway, it's very sad that's happening because the temperature in the lake is warming, and the whitefish, they need the really cold water. That's what my dad used to say. They thrive on the cold water, but the water now is warming from what's happening at the nuclear plant, because it's altering the composition of the water, and then the water, to cool the nuclear reactor is going into our lake. I don't know when all this will end. I don't know. They'll find alternate ways for energy, and hopefully they do, because it's the environment and it's the animals and even the people are suffering from that. We're going to have to find another way. The pipeline, that's another story. I didn't agree with that because when that pipe or something bursts in that water system, it pollutes that whole lake. Even they say even a cup of oil will damage the water for years and years because they can't clean it. I know they have massive cleanups when they have barges and things that spill, but still they leave the residue and things. I don't know. But I think we all have to work towards cleaning our earth and doing better, not for ourselves, but for our children, because that's the one that's going to inherit our problem. Oh, Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
Not knagi go yo ki go me go man the yo gan on man jina go man no white fish ni Jimmy Jin man the liver. It's very, very strong, the immune system when you eat that raw, that fish liver. Aha, क्या बोलिए वो भी कर रहे हैं? मैं कहना कि तो बम.
Liz?
Huh?
Liz?
Gego nag, we button got kit. A maba, a bass, gigo, as Nikazat, Shagnashim Nikia. Kanenson, Gitanon, Pinji de Bong. The Nokumisba, gi dapnanan kaninsan. Gijetonan gijetonawan nabshabzawinan. P gi kwesensian and gi biskanan gwa. Gishpin good luck. Nishnabeg we Dianawan. Gishpin objecto in manda kaninsan. Good luck. Misamanda. Ndamato kino.
Oh. Oh. Kabandawa mamin. Oh, Shivan. Miigwech. Oh, Nishin.
Mission go ya. Mismena Gigistein mina. Oh, what about the monk next week? Body part? No. Stars queuing in Dominic.
Well, we'll figure it out and then we'll send it to Victoria.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll send out what we're gonna next week's topic to Victoria or Natasha. Manda shuguma, Gigistamen, Mayo, Manda, Pama Pibi, not what minute. To be what should be the gate.
Wa min minwa.
Ah,
Pamapi, what, man?
I'm okay.
I guess we should not get
Good night, everyone.